Welcome back. Let's do question 9b1. On the set of x's, sketch the graph of g of x is equal to log of x to base 2 for the domain x is less than or equal to 4. Right, to sketch logarithmic functions, it would be better maybe to get its inverse function. Remember, the inverse function of a logarithmic function is what? Is the exponential function. Right, so we have g of x is equal to log x to base 2, which is just the same as y is equal to log x to base 2. Let's change this to an exponential function. Remember, when you're finding the inverse, the first thing you swap. Where there's x, you put y. Where there's y, you put x. So here it becomes x is equal to log y to base 2. Where there's y, we put x. Where there's x, we put y. And then now let's make y the subject. So this is the base, this is the exponent, and then this is the argument, the number. So it becomes 2 to the power x is equal to y. Or we can write it like this, y is equal to 2 to the power x. So this function is the inverse of this function. This will guide us. We know that this function will have a horizontal asymptote, which is y is equal to 0, and then it's going to cut the y-axis at 0, 1. It is going to be shaped like this. Okay, that is the exponential function. And then the inverse of this exponential function, which is logarithmic function, the asymptote is going to be x is equal to 0. Remember, for the inverse, y becomes x, x becomes y. So for this logarithmic function, x is equal to 0 becomes the asymptote. So the exponential function has a horizontal asymptote, then the logarithmic function will have the vertical asymptote. Here we have 0, 1, so it means here we're going to have 1, 0. X becomes y, y becomes x. You see, there's 0 here and 1. You swap these coordinates around. The y becomes the x, so it's x becomes 1. Then the x becomes the y, so here we have 0. And then we can sketch our graph like this. So it means the shape of the graph is going to be like this. Shape of g of x is going to be like that. And then reflected about the line, y is equal to x. So now from this we know that our x values will be greater than 0 up to 4, because they said up to 4. So our domain should be x greater than 0 but less than or equal to 4. That will be domain. Let's sketch our g of x. This will guide us. So the asymptote is going to be x is equal to 0. And then if x is equal to, let's say if x is equal to half, if x is equal to 1 over 2, you can put this in the calculator. What we get? We get negative 1. And then if x is equal to 1, so y is equal to log 1 to base 2, meaning that the answer there is 0. Okay, so this is when x is 1, y is 0. And then if x is equal to 4, let's put 4 if x is equal to 4. So it's going to be y is equal to log 4 to base 2. Then the answer is 2. So it means this is the point here. And then it's up to 4. Our domain says x should be less than or equal to 4. So it starts there. And then we sketch our function. And then here we have 4, 2. And then here we have 1, 0. So this is the graph of g.